Hello friends, welcome to Insight Tecs. This is a platform to learn about power transmission elements and its control system. So friends, let's first see a quick recap about battery sets. So battery set, basically in battery set each battery is of 2 volt, and if the battery set is of 110 volts, then there will be 55 batteries in this set. Okay, and we have learned about the ampere hour capacity of a battery set. That means we have learned how we get 100 Ah battery set, which means with a load of 1 ampere it is going to work for 100 hours. Okay, and so if ampere load increases, the working hours will decrease. So that is how ampere hour capacity is defined for a battery set. So this is how a single battery set looks like, and we have already seen inside of the battery set in our previous. Then we have also seen the battery configuration, how the metal rods are placed inside the battery, how there is a chemical reaction inside the battery, and how 2 volts are developed between this positive and negative terminals. So to watch about the charging discharging cycle, how it is charged and discharged, and what chemical reactions occur during charging discharging, you can will see our previous video. It is already mentioned in the description box below. Now let us just quickly see about battery set formation. Say each battery is of 2 volts. If this 2 volt battery cells are connected in series, then the voltage will increase. That is 4 cells with 2 volt and 100 ampere hour capacity in series, then output will be 8 volt and 100 Ah, right? So this is 8 volt, and if this we connect 2 volt battery cells in parallel, then the ampere hour capacity will increase. Okay, and but the total voltage output will only remain. So let us now see a 110 volt battery set formation. We have already seen, this is also a quick recap. For 110 volt battery set, there will be 55 numbers of cell, and half they are connected in series. See, you can see over here. This is the connection for all the 55 numbers of cell, and finally between cell number 1 and 55 you can get 110 volts DC. So these are a few captures of actual battery sets inside the substation. You can see how the connections are there and how the battery set formation is done. Now let us quickly move towards the battery set maintenance. What is the importance of battery set maintenance and why is battery set maintenance required? So in order to achieve maximum service life from batteries, regular battery set maintenance is compulsory. Okay, so due to lack of proper maintenance, battery cannot serve as per the capacity. Okay, and sometimes it is so much damage that it is not possible to reuse it again. Okay, so that is why battery set maintenance is very important. Also, if the batteries are properly maintained, it will improve the system's performance and lead to economic savings over time. So let us see what is the battery set maintenance checklist. The first one is to ensure the level of electrolyte. Second is to ensure voltage of each cell in discharging condition. Ensure the temperature of each cell. Ensure the gravity of electrolyte. Ensure all the terminal lugs are clean and tight and give a good electrical contact. Ensure cleanliness of battery container, impedance of battery cells and connecting strips, and ensuring Ah capacity of the battery set. Now let us understand one by one in detail. So now let us see in detail each of the battery maintenance set checklist. So we'll begin with the first one, that is to ensure the level of the electrolyte. So electrolyte is basically the liquid that is filled inside the battery cells. Okay, and this is the indicator which will indicate the level of electrolyte, how much it is filled inside a battery cell. So this is the maximum level and this is the minimum level. As shown in this figure, there is a float which maintains this level, how much electrolyte is filled inside your battery cell. So basically your battery cell should be filled with electrolyte in such a way that all your lead acid lead is filled inside the completely, it is covered with the all the lead plates are covered with the electrolyte. Okay, so they are not allowed to dried out. That much level between maximum and minimum, your this indicator should be there. Okay, so what happens if it is in minimum level or less? So there will be drying out of this plates, and which will lead to reduction in ampere hour capacity of the battery. Okay, so unless specified otherwise, approximately 3 to 4 mm of electrolyte above the plates is usually sufficient. Okay, otherwise, whatever the manufacturer of the battery set is instructing to keep the level of electrolyte, that much should be filled. Okay, so this is how the indicator looks like, and whenever there is a reduction in this level, okay, so you can again increase this level by filling some distilled water inside the battery set, and if the gravity is very much low, then you have to fill it with the electrolyte solution. Okay, so according to requirement, you have to always maintain the level of the electrolyte. Now let us see in actual battery. See, this is the indicator. Okay, and you can see that is below maximum and above minimum. That is the normal level of electrolyte. Now the second checklist is to ensure voltage of each cell in discharging condition. So what we have to check is we have to take voltage of each cell, okay, at a fixed interval, either weekly, fortnightly or monthly, and we have to also ensure the total voltage of the particular battery set. So these are the various cell numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have to check until 55. So for cell number 1, the voltage is 2.05. For cell number 2, individual voltage is 1.99. And similarly, for total battery set, for battery set 1, our total voltage is 113.5. Now very important thing is that we have to measure this voltage in the discharging condition. Okay, when the load is on the battery and battery is discharging, in that condition you have to measure the voltage. In that condition only you can know actual voltage levels of the individual cell. Now let us see in the actual battery set the voltage level. So you have to set the multimeter to voltage, okay, DC voltage if it is not an automatic multimeter, and you have to set the probes on the positive and negative terminals, as you can see over here. See, the voltage is 2.085. Now this is negative because positive and negative probes are interchanged, no any issue otherwise. Let us measure the total voltage of the battery set. You can see it is 113.3 volts for 100 battery set. So next point is to ensure the temperature of each cell in the battery set. So we need to take temperature of each cell at every fixed interval, say either weekly, fortnightly or monthly, and gravity of electrolyte should be normal as per temperature. Okay, so this is also important that we measure the temperature in the discharging condition, and the temperature should be according to the normal atmospheric temperature. So we have to measure for each cell, for cell 124, cell 2, and that is up to 55 cells. We have to maintain this temperature. So let us see in the actual video. See, this is a thermometer, long thermometer. We have to dip this inside the electrolyte solution and measure the temperature using this thermometer. Next point is to ensure the gravity of electrolyte. This is a very important point to be maintained. So we need to take the gravity of each cell at fixed intervals, say weekly, fortnightly, monthly, and the gravity of electrolyte should be from 1.800 to 2.400. Again, it should be measured only in discharging conditions, and we have to measure this for each individual cell, and we have to maintain this record for all the 55 numbers of cell. For cell number 1, suppose it is 1.210, for cell 2 1.200, and so on for 55 numbers of cell. Let us see how we measure the gravity. See, this is a hydrometer through which we can measure the gravity. You have to pump in the electrolyte like this, and you can see on this hydrometer there are indication of various numbers, digits. See, this is between, indicating between 1 to 00 and 20, so we can say the gravity is 1.210 for this particular solution. And in similar way you can measure gravity for each individual cells. The next checklist is to ensure that all terminals are clean and tight, right? So this is very important point, because again it has to be maintained for fixed intervals, say weekly, fortnightly, monthly. Clean contacts from the corrosive surface. We have to tighten the contact, and we have to apply petroleum jelly to prevent any oxidation on the surface. Again, this has to be done only in the discharging condition. So in the pictures you can see what happens when there is oxidation around this point of contact, right? So we have to clean this properly, and we have to apply petroleum jelly to prevent from any kind of oxidation on the surface. This is very important step to do weekly, fortnightly, because this damages the electrical contacts, and because of that the efficiency, AH capacity of the cell is very badly hampered. You can see using this stick you have to clean this contacts, and you have to maintain that this contacts have electric tightening also, right? The next step is to ensure the cleanliness of battery container. We need to wash each cell, okay, the outer covering, with the distilled water. Why this is important? Because say if there is any leakage on the outer surface, then the electrolyte will be flowing through this outer surface. It will damage the battery cell, and it will also, because of this path, conductive path, your AH capacity will be reduced. Electrolyte's gravity will be reduced, and also its AH capacity will be hampered. Okay, so why? Because of the leakage path towards, there will be discharging of the cell through this path created. Again, the washing should be carried out either fortnightly, monthly, or 6 monthly as per the site conditions, right? Again, it has to be done in discharging condition only. The next is to measure the impedance of battery cell and the connecting stripes. This has to be done, say, at the fixed interval of either 6 monthly or once in a year. And impedance of each cell is fixed as per whatever the AH capacity of the battery cell. So variation of the impedance indicates either there is a decrease in the AH capacity or not. So for individual battery sets, you can measure for individual battery cell impedance is measured like this. Again, it has to be kept in mind that the impedance of each individual battery cell depends on the AH capacity. Say for 100 AH capacity, this is the impedance that we get for the individual cell. But if it is of 250 AH, then the impedance will be, you can see as it is over here. How to measure the impedance and what is impedance test actually, you can see a separate video. I will give the link in the description box. You can check out the video on battery impedance test separately. The next step is to ensure the AH capacity of the battery set. So for this, again, you have to do a discharging test for the battery. You have to do it yearly, and you need to maintain the record. So you can you can check it with the previous results, and you can know if there is any decrease in the your AH capacity. So what to do for discharging test is, you have, according to your AH capacity, you need to connect some load, okay, for the battery set, and for some particular amperes, and you can check how many hours your battery is able to sustain that load. So for example, if it is the battery is 100 AH load, then you have to connect it with the 10 ampere of load and you have to see that it sustains 10 ampere for 10 hours, then your 100 AH capacity is perfect. And suppose if it is of 250 AH load, 250 AH, then the load connected should be of 25 amperes to survive for 10 hours. Okay, so you can see, and when you have connected this 10 load, then you have to check this voltage, total battery voltage, after every 1 hour. You have to take this reading for the entire time while the discharging test is conducted, and you will notice how gradually the voltages are decreasing. Right, so you can see over here, this is a particular load developed that can be used for up to 25 amperes, right? For each individual MCB, you have this resistor bank connected over here, and according to the AH capacity of your battery, you can use this particular load. And this is the control panel through which you can measure the voltage and ampere. So once all the battery set maintenance checklist are done, you will get this kind of table which will indicate the individual cell voltage, temperature of the cell, specific gravity and corrected specific gravity for all the 55 numbers of cell. Okay, and you have to keep this record weekly, fortnightly, according to your maintenance schedule. So friends, the battery must be suitably protected from extreme temperatures, and it should be kept where it is most likely the safe place, so that no physical damage is done, and it should be kept at a normal room temperature. Also, it is very important that the battery sets are placed inside the room which are very well ventilated, right? Because of the charging and discharging cycle, at very excessive high current rates, it can cause heat and also issue of some gases, right? So proper ventilation of the battery room is mandatory. Friends, this is all about battery maintenance checklist. If I hope this video has been very helpful to you for maintenance of your battery sets, and if you have any doubts, you can always ask in the comments below. Also, let us know what you want to learn in the upcoming videos. Thank you for watching. Keep watching our videos.